actively striving for.
I'm gonna take a huge bite out of these testicles.
How then are we celebrating Mystery Meat Weekend? Mystery Meat Weekend here on Game Theory. Well, what I've got cooking for you is fresh, juicy, and hot out of the oven. We're heading back to the world of Merge Mansion to take another look at the mysterious pies cooked by the one and only Grandma Ursula. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, let me catch you up. Over a year ago, we started looking into the mystery of Merge Mansion, an item matching mobile game that caught everyone's attention with their series of bizarrely dramatic ads. Houses set on fire, hidden basements full of money, sheds full of knives, and of course your sweet loving grandma arrested with one of 3 mysterious quotes written on her hand as she's driven away by the paddy wagon. Some of these things even got freaking Kathy Bates to star as Grandma.
Grandma!
When you get an Oscar-winning actress to start giving titty twisters to statues in order to hawk your mobile game, you know you've got cash to spare. Anyway, using those ads, I was able to put together a timeline of events and answer the question that smeared across all of them. What is Grandma hiding? The answer, if you've been watching this channel long enough, was obvious. Murder! I suspected that Grandma Ursula was involved in an elaborate murder plot, killing people off and then hiding the dead bodies in her famous pies Sweeney Todd style. She was then training up her granddaughter Maddie to take over the family business and her iconic secret recipe. Hence why we're here today for
secret recipe. So by the looks of it, of this perfectly paused frame,
Okay. She put you with cadence.
it's an entire pie. Nothing else.
It kind of looks like
Mystery Meat Weekend. And that's honestly where I left my investigation. Merge Mansion went back to releasing their normal CG ads, which didn't really add anything to the lore, and I went back to doing what I do best, failing to solve FNAF. But little did I suspect what the developers of this game had cooking.
Well, 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 look who's returned into my inbox. And what do I have inside? A letter from Maddie Bolton. Solve the mystery. Who are you gonna call? Me.
A challenge, an invite to the mansion to get hands-on and search for clues to put the Grandma Ursula mystery to rest. But before I entered the garden gates, they also sent through plenty of pre-reading materials.
Look at this. We got like post-it notes like, what does Winston know? I didn't even know that there was a rubber ducky involved in this. What's Grandma hiding? Trust the maid? There's a maid now? There's so much here. I'm having like serious flashbacks.
Sounds like bro gotta play the game again. He gotta play.
To the Grubhub when they sent us all this stuff. Maybe Grandma was a part of the Jimmy Neutron cinematic universe.
And there, buried in all that paperwork, was where I'd find the most shocking reveal to date.
She's 5'11"?
That's right, Grandma was a unit.
180 pounds? She could clock me.
Osteoporosis ain't got nothing on those bones.
I'm going to the mansion tonight, and I'm gonna solve this mystery once and for all. Ursula, Grandma Bolton, you're going down. Matt Pat's got a theory for you, and it's gonna be your last. Get ready! Let's go.
But apparently, I wasn't the only detective headed there that afternoon. Pedro Pascal, fresh off the heels of The Last of Us, would also be there at the mansion as part of this mystery event. In fact, he had just been tapped to play the detective solving the mystery of Grandma Ursula in a brand new series of ads that they had released literally the same day. And so, as you'd expect, the internet was going nuts. Danny Gonzalez literally dropped everything to make a reaction video to this.
Emergency video! I am making this video to let you all know that Pedro Pascal is in a Merge Mansion ad.
But to me, those ads just seemed to once again confirm everything that I talked about in my past theories.
The only secret around here is what she's putting into those pies. It's something to die for. I'd kill for that recipe.
Like, Pedro, my guy, just look over here. I got 2 videos with all the evidence that you need. I literally did your job for you a year ago. Unless, of course, there's something else going on here. Looking through Pedro's trailers, there was something new that I noticed. Someone who kept getting an unusual amount of screen time. This guy. They show wedding photos, family portraits, and other characters talk about a missing body.
There's no body, no smoking gun, just a lot of knives.
This was clearly
Yo, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, here we go. I got myself a new juice box. Let's go. Let's watch this video again.
Okay, I'm gonna get on.
The mystery that the guys at Merge Mansion wanted me to solve. Who is this man? What happened to him? And how did it all relate to my visit to the mansion? We were about to find out. After arriving at the mansion, one thing became crystal clear. Lore was everywhere. Conspiracy boards, props, pictures, and posters.
Like FNAF? You seem to be very invested in that. Like you said earlier, you are a very invested person into the FNAF, the whole FNAF lore. I mean, I am too. So like, okay, let's see what else. I don't know what I'm going with this rant.
Cards, they went hard on this thing. And through it all, only one thing kept running through my mind.
Here's the question that really matters though. Is this canon?
Yes, it was. We were told that we'd be entering the mansion in small groups, and that Pedro would be doing the whole thing solo later that day. And with that, my dreams of recreating my Grogu fan fiction with him were canceled temporarily. Anyway, it was time to finally enter the house. The event was probably best described as an escape room the size of a mansion, all set in the Hollywood Hills. It took us from the library to a hidden kitchen in the basement, even up to a secret.
He also seems to be a big fan of Mandalorian. Respect it. I love Mandalorian myself. Pedro did really well as Mando.
Security office hidden through the fireplace.
Hard plus scones. Boop.
Did he say an office? If he said an office, they're taking heavy inspiration from office buildings. You thought I was gonna say Five Nights at Freddy's. Joke's on you. I said office building.
No way! It's Merge Mansion meets Five Nights at Freddy's. Look, check this out. Circle. Gotta go back to the study. So much lore! Oh, my mind is blown!
Before eventually coming full circle back to the main floor and Grandma's dining hall, where she'd set up a little bait and switch for us, distracting us with a mannequin while she slipped out the back. So even though Grandma Ursula ultimately eluded our grasp, the whole thing wasn't a bust. First, the box that was sent to me at the beginning of the event confirmed that of the 3 hand messages that we saw in those Merge Mansion ads, one of them was canonical.
So originally there were 3 versions of what she wrote on her hand. It seems like this is the one that they're sticking with, so that's good to know.
He is alive. So who then is he? Well, all along the path throughout the mansion, there was one name that kept coming up over and over again. Grandpa Charlie.
There's Ignatius. There's Ursula and Charlie. See, Charlie. It's the dumbwaiter. Prepare a special for Charlie. Where is Charlie?
In both the Pedro Pascal ads and the live action event, Grandpa Charlie appears to be the linchpin, the secret unspoken character that has Easter eggs about him littered everywhere. Now, I initially wrote him off in our earlier theories just because he seemed like nothing more than a passing mention, and whenever anyone did bring him up, it seemed to be implying that he was dead. Little did I realize though that that's kind of the point. They want you to think that he's dead. He's the only character that would make sense in this family photo from the new ads.
What am I missing? Crime scene? Weapon?
Big part in this. Maybe he is the pie. And the pie looks like cherry. It looks cherry. That's what it looks like. It looks like cherry or strawberry. It's rather one or the other. I'm gonna stick with. Ooh, I just had goosebumps. Anyway, cherry. I'm gonna believe it's cherry.
Motive? I was finally in, but still couldn't put the pieces together.
I don't know what you're complaining about here, Pedro. This detective work is easy. But okay, we have our victim. Now we need to figure out what happened. As I said, initially I dismissed Charlie because he seemed to be dead in the game's dialogue. So checking back in on the game felt like a good place to start. And let me just say, this is not the same game that I researched a year ago. The game itself is still the same. You're still merging items together to form new ones, and you're still trying to fix up the mansion grounds. But the story and character dialogue has received a massive update. Old scenes are no longer there, and new ones ones have been put in their places, ones that focus very specifically on the mystery of what happened to Grandpa Charlie. From the get-go, Maddie is trying to figure out what happened to her parents, but also Grandpa Charlie. Eventually, we learn that Charlie never set foot in the mansion. He was from a poor family, he was not interested in wealth, and he was loved by many, all of which are fine little details, but they're not really helping us get to the bottom of the mystery. The closest thing we get to that,
By the looks of it, Merge Mansion is just you rebuilding the mansion. That's virtually what it was. That's what you're doing. So that means if Charlie never stepped foot into the mansion, that means it's the same as Ursula. So that means in both retrospect. Anyway, that means that this is a mansion that she purchased as like a surprise and ended up not living there until, you know, she started baking pie. We'll just say that. She started baking pie. Yeah, we'll stick with pie. Anyway, if this is the case, that means that if Ursula or Charlie never stepped foot, you're basically like a, what's those shows called, like house renovation. It's basically what you are. You're just rebuilding it. Just based on what I've heard from MatPat so far, you just rebuild it. Okay. Okay. So, okay, let's continue so I can make more of a hypothesis.
is a gold watch that Maddie finds that once belonged to Grandpa Charlie, given to him by Grandma Ursula. Ursula wants that thing thrown out, but Maddie keeps it and starts asking around town to see if anyone has any other information. This, though, is what leads the police to use it as evidence to arrest Ursula, leading to the iconic ad of Ursula in the back of the cop car. And that right there, that's when it hit me. The recent CG videos that have been put onto the Merge Mansion YouTube channel originally felt like a lot of nothing burgers, or nothing pies, I suppose. They're just Grandma Ursula being shady, but not in the I'm actually a murderer kind of way. I didn't really know what to make of them. But thinking about this now with the new understanding that her husband, Grandpa Charlie, is alive, I think I've got an idea of what's going on. What if the reason Ursula is being shady is because she knows where Grandpa Charlie is? In the video, left or right, we see Maddie follow Ursula into a snowstorm, but when she catches up, Ursula's footprints go one way and the sledge of supplies that she was dragging go the opposite way, thereby implying that someone else grabbed them and took them away. Charlie. It was all to see and also help Charlie. But why? Why would she want to keep him a secret? Sadly, this is where the trail ran cold. I dug through so much in-game dialogue, went frame by frame for every video ever released. I even spent an unsettling amount of time doing the unthinkable and playing the game to see if there were any secrets in the item merging sections, but
he did what I said. He needs to play the game to get more story. Without playing the game, there's no story because he has nothing. He has literally nothing. Well, I guess not literally nothing. He has what the game's giving him and ads and stuff. But he's not having the full 100% all. Cat's just living in there. Anyway. Just sitting there doing nothing. He's missing a big part of story here. So.
To see if there were any secrets in the item merging sections, but ultimately came up empty-handed, much like Daddy Pascal.
We should clip that, post it on TikTok, as MatPat out of context moments, and that'd be funny.
Detective Pascal, I couldn't figure it out. Or at least I couldn't until I re-examined all those papers that they sent to me in their challenge. In the middle of all those files, blueprints, and newspaper clippings, there was one series of documents that literally blew the case wide open. A series of journal entries.
February 15th, 1971. I'm the happiest I've ever been. My sweet Lily Ursula.
Her name is Lily Ursula. And this goes back to 71. So that means this mansion has been abandoned for like if the timeline in this is the same year we are, 2023, that would make this a 52-year-old mansion if February 15th is the year or the month they actually had the mansion. I could be wrong, but if I'm correct, I think that's what it is. I think that's it.
Is now my wife. She looked so beautiful in her white dress. Her smile lit up the entire room. The ceremony was simple, but it was filled with love and happiness. I can hardly believe she chose me, and I am now a husband. I'm so grateful to have her by my side. We spent our first night as husband and wife at a small hotel. We talked late into the night about our future together.
Oh, so February 15th is the journal entry for the wedding. I still have goosebumps. I don't know if you can see that. Oh no, no. Anyway, so this is wedding day. So that means they're married for 52 years. So that means some point during this, Ursula rather won the lottery or inherited a ton of money and bought a mansion. But her husband did not want to consume the wealth as she did. So they ended up living just a normal life as they had no money. So after her buying that mansion, that means that the mansion probably sat there vacant for years.
In a family, our hopes and our dreams. I'm the luckiest man in all of Hopewell Bay.
That right there, that isn't just chicken scratch, that is the diary of Grandpa Charlie himself. This is him marrying Ursula, again highlighting their lack of finances with a small and simple ceremony, and money would actually become a running theme throughout all of the entries. They also get a whole lot harder to read, gotta be honest. I wasn't able to fully decipher them all, but I think I have enough understanding as to what's going on, so here's my rough translation.
June 12th, 1979. Today has been tough. Letter from the bank that we've missed our mortgage payment again. We've been working so hard, but nothing is never enough. So...
That sounds about right. But this is 79. Like, what is this guy doing for a job? Is he, like, picking up gum from underneath school desks or something? Because, like, back in 79, the value of money was worth a lot more. So, I don't know. Unless this guy's literally, like, his job is picking up quarters off the side of the street. This man should have no problem paying his bills. At least, what my vision of the 80s is anyway. But we haven't been told what kind of job. And also, if Ursula has a mansion, maybe she didn't get the mansion till after he died, like inherited it, or like got it as a parting gift. Well, actually, the husband's still alive. Forgot about that detail.
Off, I let Leonard, me to get 100 I save. His so-called investment opportunities, that guy. I fear even though it is Ursula's brother, that will only dig me deep into a hole. I'm just trying to provide a better life for our family. A life my Lily deserves, but it may be too late. September 9th, 1980. Tonight the guys came over for a game of poker. Not much of a gambler, but it has become a regular thing now. Trying to keep my...
Wait. What does he mean by that?
mind off all the paranoid struggles, but it's a losing battle. All those letters piling up, things to move back in with Leonard at Beaumont Hall. On the bright side, there is plenty of Hopeberry whiskey to be had. My only solace from the mounting pressure I've been facing, and the worst part is not being able to share it with my Lily. November 21st, 1980. It's been some time since I last wrote. Things just difficult. I'm sure what to do. I've been appointed by some unsavory characters Leonard got us wrapped up with about a debt and paying them back. I never intended for it to get this dark. Now I fear for the safety of my wife and my child. I just want their needs to be met. I want my family to be safe. I can't risk their safety by being tangled up with those people. I hope it's not too late. I'm writing this by candlelight. I can hear my Lily. They would be better off if I...
This right here is the smoking gun, loyal theorists. This tells us everything we need to know. Not only was Charlie a poor man before he got married to Ursula, he continued to be a poor man afterwards. They were struggling to make mortgage payments, and any money that he did make, he was thrown away on drinking and gambling. Tale as old as time. What's interesting though is we're also introduced to a character that we've never heard of before, Leonard Bolton, Ursula's brother. And while we don't learn a whole lot about him, the main takeaway is that this guy is wrapped up in some unsavory businesses. He's the kind of brother-in-law that always has a get-rich-quick scheme going on. And sadly, the situation Charlie finds himself in means that he has to go along with it. Unfortunately, it seems like the last scheme that these two pull is ultimately their downfall. When I was looking at the detective cork board from the live event, I noticed one very odd detail. There was a piece of paper pinned that was from an official government document, more specifically references to the Foreign Agricultural Trade of the United States. Weird, right? Something about it just felt out of place here. So I spent my day doing the most fun thing on the planet, deciphering government financial documents. Yeah, I definitely know how to party. I won't bore you with all the details here, but basically these documents track the US...
I'm gonna have to end it short. By 2 minutes. I hope to see you guys later.